Hi, everybody. Welcome in on this beautiful Virgo full moon. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you. Would you bring me a little glass, like a glass from the...
Sure.
Thank you. I'd appreciate it. How are you guys tonight? Oh, did you have a mini nap? I love that. I love that you're rested and feeling good tonight ahead of our ceremony. Look at that! And I love hearing where you're chiming in from. Where are you tonight? And I hope where you are, it's a little warmer than it's been in the last couple of weeks, because you guys have been under like some serious frost and freeze. We're having the most beautiful sunset tonight in Los Angeles. It's already kind of dark now, but if you look over the ocean, it's all pink and blue and reminds me of this energy of Hera. It's so great to see you guys tonight. Welcome in. And thank you for being here. Thanks, Nick. Nick brought me a fancy glass to put my Diet Coke in tonight. How are you? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Mendocino. I love it. Louisiana. Oh, Louisiana, I miss you. Do you know that Louisiana is actually, we have a little family like to-do list, our travel list once COVID is over, and do you know Louisiana is top 5 for us? It's just one of my favorite places in the world, and so we plan to take the kids. The kids have never been to New Orleans, but the energy in New Orleans for me is dreamy. It's actually very much aligned to some of the work we're doing tonight, and then some of the work we're going to do next month when we work with EOS. So how's it going? Look at that, checking in. Love you guys. Well, I'm sending you all the love, a little bit of warmth from California, a lot of blessings to where you are, and I'm thankful that you're here. So welcome in. So tonight's full moon, it's a full moon in Virgo. I want to talk about what that means, because you may have already been experiencing the energies, and bless you if you have. What are my top 5 places that we're going after the pandemic? And mostly it has to do with work to a certain extent. We have to go to India next year. We're supposed to be in India this year. We have to go to France next year. We're supposed to be in France this year. This is for SG. Because I want to teach a perfuming class, and I want to do a little behind the scenes documentary in Grasse, France, which is really the origin story of perfuming. And we need to go to India for stones and for, relationships and partnerships. I want to take the kids to Mexico. I want them to see the butterfly migration. And so I'm working on that for next year. We were supposed to go in October, November of 2020, but then that didn't happen. And then in the US, the main places I want to take the kids right this minute, I want to take them to New Orleans. I want them to experience the energy there. They've been talking about it forever. And so those are kind of the main places top of our list. And then Dave and I want to go to Napa because we just love Napa, Sonoma. I love Central California. If you've never been there before, it's kind of dreamy. So we've got kind of a little punch list of places. The kids really want to go to New York City. They've never been to New York. And I just love New York City. I love New Jersey. We were supposed to move to New Jersey. I don't know if a lot of you know that, but we were actually about to buy a house in Chatham, New Jersey, because I was about to take a job at a university in New Jersey. This was feels like 100 years ago. So I want to take them to New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, because I love the Eastern Seaboard. The Northeast is Dave's from upstate New York, so we want to go through all the way through there. Anyway, I love traveling. My moon's in Sag, so tonight's moon is not my moon. Tonight's moon is Virgo. How many of you have a moon in Virgo? Or, you know what? How many of you have sun or rising in Virgo? Can we talk about that right now? My husband is Sun Virgo and rising Virgo. Okay, Bluebird, wild card, Virgo moon. Love it. Give me more. Chatham is really beautiful in New Jersey, by the way. And I loved the house that we were going to buy. It was super magical. And I cried when we decided not to move to Chatham, New Jersey. I cried a little bit because our house that we were looking at was so cool. It wasn't, it wasn't fancy, but it had really good energy. So anyway, I miss traveling too. Look at our Virgos. Okay, this is your moon. I bet you're enjoying it. Are you enjoying it? What does a Virgo moon feel like? A Virgo moon feels like Somebody put an absolute microscope on you. Which is not my favorite thing. Virgos are really good at showing you the fault lines, where you're not meeting your goals, where you're not achieving your dreams, where you have room to grow and room to run, what your challenge areas are, where you could be doing better, where you messed up, where you forgot a spot, where you have a pimple. Okay, I'm just going to point out right now, I have a pimple right here. Can you see it? Look closely. I'm giving you a Virgo opportunity. This pimple, I put concealer on it right before I went live with you. It's the size of Texas. It's going to erupt an absolute 51st state on my face in about 2 days. I'm sharing this with you because that's what a Virgo moon does. It goes, hey, did you know you have a pimple on your chin the size of Texas that's about to erupt? And you're like, what? Okay, so what I have found with the last 48 hours, okay, is that every single pimple on my face is what's coming to me, right? All my mistakes, all the things I could do better, all the ways I'm not perfect. I posted about this on my personal page today. I posted something earlier this week, super offended somebody. I took it down, but it was all this Virgo moon energy. Like so I'm going to be the first to tell you, 51st state eruption on my face. You can call it. Listen to me. I'm married to a Virgo. If you think you're going to offend me and by picking on me, you're not. He's probably already picked on me. Okay? And I need Windex on it to kill it, right? What I realized this week is this. It's good to know where you're flawed, okay? It's good to remember that you're not perfect. You don't do everything right all the time. You got 51st state pimples about to erupt on your chin. Because guess what? You're human. If you were a true goddess, God, perfect person, awesome, amazing, never made a mistake, then you probably wouldn't be human and alive on Earth right now. Because the whole point of being human and on this planet is to, oddly enough, make some mistakes. Because every time you grow and learn and express and expand, you kind of learn how to do the thing, right? Like you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna F up, you're gonna not say the right thing or really make somebody mad. And that was the point of my post. It's like, you know what? I know I'm not perfect. I definitely don't put myself up here to say, guess what, everybody, you should be just like me. I'm perfect. I put myself up here and go, total work in progress, right? I'll probably make a mistake before we're done tonight. So learn from your mistakes, move on from it. I'm the person in your life who's going to say, you know what? You are here to learn. And sometimes that means you're going to mess up to learn. Sometimes that means you're going to learn on the run. Sometimes it means you're going to learn from your mistakes, right? But the real message of tonight is keep going. Keep going. My daughter asked me today, and I hope this is helpful for you. It's total Virgo moon stuff, okay? And those of you who are Virgos are probably sitting there nodding your heads, right? My daughter asked me today, so what do I do? You know, like after I mess up, what do I do? You know, I mess up in a class. I don't get a good grade on a test. What do I do? How do I... She's basically asking, how do you pivot? And the answer is, you do better the next time. You do better the next time. I tell my kids they should make it their goal, and you can wave at me or say hi if this resonates with you. I think my kids should make it their goal to make as many mistakes as they can as early as they can. As early as they can. Like make all the mistakes, you know? Try something new, make a mistake, pivot. Try something new, make a mistake, pivot. Share what's on your mind, You know, it's not great. Should have done it differently. You pivot, right? You learn, you try, you learn. You try, you learn. I want that to be your mantra for tonight. I'm going to make as many mistakes as I can, as quickly as I can, and as early as I can. And when I make a mistake, I'm going to learn from it, pivot, and reflect and do better next time. But I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to be shitty to myself. I'm not going to be overly judgmental and critical. The number one thing, and you know, I'll tell you something. This is a gift that I learned from my grandmother. And do you know how the best wisdom, at least for me, was never spoken to me? I learned from example. My grandmother never sat me down and said, Athena, this is how the world works. She taught me this by what she did. My grandmother, if you did something that upset her or offended her, she never said anything to you. She didn't. Not in the moment. But years later, she would ask me, what did you learn from them? She wasn't about like rubbing people's nose and things, and she wasn't about like, you know, in the moment getting all over your case. But later she would come to me and say, remember that time? What'd you learn from that? What was interesting to you about that? In hindsight, you know? And because she didn't come to me right away, because she came to me later, it was so powerful because there was no emotion left around it, so I could really reflect and go, you know, I think I learned to be softer, or I think I learned to be gentler, or I think I learned to be more open-minded, or I think I learned to be more grateful, or you know what I mean? But she didn't do it right away. She would come to me later and go, remember that? What did you learn? What was the lesson? You know, what made you curious about that? And there was no judgment in it. It was just, is there something coming forward for you? And of course she was an Aquarius, right? How many of you are Aquarians? So you guys are a little bit easier when it comes to the lessons and the, right? So she was all about, you know, you do you, you be you, but are you learning your lessons as you go? And I think that's the most important thing. If you're learning, you're doing great. And I will tell you, I learn every single day. I learn every single day how to do a better job of being human. The best boss I ever had, I'll tell you this too, and she wasn't a Virgo, but it comes up on this Virgo moon because, you know, under this Virgo moon, you're going to be tempted to critique me and everybody else in your life. I'm going to be tempted to critique you and everybody else in my life. Because it's a Virgo moon and we're putting everything under the microscope, and like my marriage is, you know, isn't perfect, this room isn't perfect, this bed isn't perfect, my job isn't perfect, you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. But the best boss I ever had in my life was my last boss before I started just focusing on Sage Goddess. And do you know why she was such a good boss? She was probably the best leader I've ever met in my life. And I'm not going to say who she is, but she might be watching. But she was an amazing leader. And do you know why she was such a good leader? She didn't focus on the problem, she focused on the solution. The building could be burning down, and she would have come to me and said, now what do we do? She wouldn't focus on why did it burn down, how did it burn down, did you burn it down? She would just focus on what do we do now? What's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? And it was so beautiful to me because she had this momentum. So what's next? What's the next best thing to do? What's the next best move? What's the next best decision? And she was already looking for how to fix a problem that she and I both knew we couldn't overcome, right? The problem had already happened. So under this Virgo full moon, I want you to entice yourself, not to look at the problems, but to look at the solutions and what's next. And so maybe instead of addressing problems head on, look beyond the problem. What's the next step? What's the right outcome? What's the solution? And then work with someone, work with people, work with your kids, work with your friends, work with your partner to find a solution instead of dwelling on what's actually happening in the moment. You know what I mean? We call it a sunk cost when I was a consultant. If something happened, if there was a problem, it's already happened. So when you focus on it, that's what we call a sunk cost. And you don't want to spend a lot of money focusing on a sunk cost. It's already gone. My grandmother used to call it crying after spilled milk. The milk already spilled. There's no point crying about it. The answer is, how do we get more milk? And so an evolved Virgo, and this is what I want to, she wasn't an Aries actually either, but an evolved Virgo is going to ask what's next. What's the best next step out of this situation? And I'm going to tell you a story about Hera. Did you see that art for this month? I just have to show you, I have to show off because I have an incredible graphic design team at Sage Goddess, and they created her. And I have to tell you, as a Greek person and not an artist, it's an amazing thing to see what my team does when they try to create a Greek goddess. And this is the closest to what I think Hera probably would have looked like. This is Zeus's wife. And we know that Hera was beautiful, right? We know that she was magical and attractive. But who is Hera in the Greek pantheon, and why are we studying her at a Virgo full moon? Let me tell you, it's pretty, right? She's beautiful. Hera was a fantastic wife to Zeus, but she was jealous too. And, you know, the Greeks weren't, you know, monogamy in the Greeks, it wasn't the easiest sell. Greeks weren't inherently monogamous people. Monogamy is very modern. In ancient times, if you were married, it didn't mean that it was one and done, kind of like it means now. So Zeus was exploring his opportunities, okay? And he happened to kind of be consorting with a young maiden, okay? And, you know, Hera caught wind of this, and she was like, kind of Virgo about it. You know, we're not going to play that game, right? It just wasn't. I'm sincerely telling you the truth. In ancient civilizations, monogamy was not as valued as it is today. And we can, you know, we shouldn't project our kind of modern mindset onto ancient relationships. But it wasn't like, if you were married in ancient Greece, the goal wasn't to never cheat on your husband, or the goal wasn't to never cheat on your wife, right? Okay. So anyway, Zeus was, you know, having a little friendship that maybe wasn't just a friendship. And so Hera caught wind of this, and the long story short is that Hera had a bodyguard, and Mercury got involved, okay? So Zeus sent Hermes to rescue his friend. Remember Hermes? It's a long story. And so Hermes got involved and went to rescue the friend, and the friend was being monitored by Argos, who was the family's bodyguard, okay? And Argos got involved, and so Hermes killed Argos. Argos is called the multi-eyed, or the panoptical, or panopticon, meaning he had many eyes. And some legends say that Hermes had 100 eyes. Some legends say that Hermes had 2 eyes, or not Hermes, Argos, had 2 eyes on the sides and 2 eyes on the front, so he could see all 4 directions, right? But he was Hera's bodyguard. But he was also watching over the other relationship, okay? So Hermes killed Argos in the process of trying to protect the girlfriend and mediate the conflict with Hera. And so Hera was devastated to learn that Argus had been killed. And so Hera had a bird that she loved called the peacock. And so Hera took all of Argos's eyes. This is why I think Argos had more than 4 eyes. I think Argos had 100 eyes. And that's what most of the legends, if you read Greek mythology, they'll say Argos the 100-eye, or 100-eyed. And so Hera took all of the eyes off of Argos and put them on the feathers of her favorite bird, the peacock. And that is why when you see a peacock expand its feathers all big and wide, it looks like it has 100 eyes. Have you ever seen a peacock really expand its feathers? And that's because those are all of Argos's eyes that Hera took and placed on him, on the peacock, once Argos had been killed. That's right, don't poke him in the eye. He's got 99 more. I I know. And that comes to us from Ovid's Metamorphoses, which is one of my favorite of the original Latin texts from thousands of years ago. These are some of the original stories of the Western civilization, and that's how the peacock got its eyes, was when Argos was killed and Hera went into a severe state of mourning for him because she loved him so much. So our whole set this month is about Hera. If you want the Song of Hera perfume, but you didn't get your kit, by the way, that's available in the shop separately. So tonight we have our Hera candle, we have our Song of Hera perfume, and then we have this little jar of Jordan almonds. Did you see this? You can choose to eat yours if you would like. It's up to you. We are going to be working with this tonight, though, because in Greek mythology and even today in modern Greek wedding ceremonies, these little almonds are meant to represent the sweetening of your relationship. So tonight into this full moon, we are focusing on commitment, the force of commitment. And so this can sweeten your relationship if you're committing to a relationship. This can sweeten your business if you're focusing and committing to your business. This can sweeten your relationship with yourself and your body if you're focusing on that. What are you focusing on tonight? Remember that the full moon is expansion and manifestation and, opening up a big cauldron of energy, really, at the full moon. At the new moon, it's dark and we don't have the light of the moon to guide us, so we're setting intentions and kind of writing on a blank slate what we want to create in the next cycle. At the full moon, we're celebrating the fullness and the completion and the activation of these energies. And so we're bringing the energy of commitment under a Virgo full moon to one thing in your life. What needs commitment from you? Now you may say, you know what, my relationship doesn't need it. And that's great. So what does need it? Maybe you need to bring more of your force of commitment to your work. Maybe you've lost your pizzazz. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people during the quarantine and the pandemic this year have kind of lost their professional willpower. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for new professions, or they've lost their focus. And so bringing commitment back to that tonight would be really powerful. Losing weight would be powerful. Self-love and self-expression would be really powerful for that. They are actually candy and you can actually eat them. And can we talk about how hard it was to keep my kids out of this? There was about 3 times when I came in here and I saw Zoe kind of if you haven't tasted a Jordan almond, and if you haven't been to a big fat Greek wedding before, because I've been to dozens of them in my life, you don't know the joy of Jordan almonds yet. So I won't blame you if you eat one. It can be more than one thing. So we're actually going to claim 3 tonight. So I want you to take if you have your kit, I want you to take your almonds out of your jar, because when you put these back into the jar, you're going to be committing to them. And the other way you can do it is to eat them instead, but I'm going to recommend that you put them back into your jar. And you can also add other things to your jar, like crystals. We gave you in your kit too. You got a piece of emerald, which is the stone of fidelity. Emerald in the 1800s, they really believed this would keep your partner from cheating on you. I'm going to tell you something. I don't think it's going to keep anybody from cheating. But it's pretty. I have other ideas about how to keep people from cheating on you, but it has nothing to do with a gemstone. That's why I think after the 1800s they didn't really talk about emeralds and fidelity anymore. Yeah, Italian weddings too, so you know it. Yeah, because here's the thing, and you're gonna find in every tradition. I mean, I could spend the rest of the night talking to you about this, but let me just tell you. Greeks and Italians use the Jordan almonds in their weddings to sweeten the marriage, to bless it. In other traditions, like the Hoodoo tradition, they use honey to sweeten the union, right, or to sweeten the intention. And the idea is that when you add sugar or candy or honey to a ceremony that you attract sweet spirits to it, and so it raises a sweet vibration and it helps to bless the work that you're doing. Yeah, emerald is a stone of fidelity. I'm just telling you, if you don't want somebody to cheat on you, this is, you know, don't buy emerald. I think that's a real wives' tale. I do. Anyway, we gave you a sticker that says, I am the force of commitment. And you can put this on your, a lot of people are putting this on their mirror or on their notebook. I have a notebook that I keep my stickers on. After each full moon, I add my sticker, and it just reminds me, like every time I go to my notebook, because I'm constantly taking notes, I'm like, force of commitment, what does that mean? And we put Hera symbol on there. Now, each month you're getting a disc with your tools. And the next set of tools for next month is live, and wait till you hear about next month, because it's a whole party. I don't even know if we're ready for that yet. We're gonna go from super conservative Virgo this month to super sexy time Libra next month with Eos, who was the original cougar in the Greek pantheon. So there's a lot of really interesting energy coming next month. Yeah, so you would have, if you got your kit, you would have gotten the bigger bottle of Song of Hera, but we don't have any more of these bottles. So if you just want the perfume tonight, what you're going to get is the smaller bottle. I think it might be the same amount of perfume, or slightly less, but it's not the custom bottle. We just don't have any more of these. So if you got your kit, you got the original bottle. If you're getting just Song of Hera tonight, you're getting the different bottle. Yeah. Cougars! Okay. Song of Hera perfume, by the way, I hope you love it. I have been wearing it all month because it's got Palo Santo with vanilla and rose. This is one of my favorite full moon perfumes of all time. I love Palo Santo. We had never blended it with real vanilla until this month, truly, in a spray perfume. We did an oil perfume with vanilla and Palo Santo that you might remember from a few years ago. It was called Vanille Vrai. And that had some vanilla and Palo Santo, but we'd never done it in a spray-based perfume, and we'd never added rose. So this is an entirely new creation, and it definitely gives you that sense because vanilla is an aphrodisiac, rose brings passion and love, and then Palo Santo brings healing. So again, for relationships in crisis, or for your heart that might be broken, or for places in your life where you feel like you haven't been as connected, this perfume is a real healer, and it's gorgeous. I mean, it's as good as any high-end department store, anything you've ever used, because it's all pure oils for you. So if you didn't get it and you want it, does it smell like licorice to you? That's the Palo Santo, by the way, that has a little bit of like a sharpness to it. That's your Palo. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, I love it. Rose for me is very special, but I don't like rose that smells old. You know what I mean? I like rose when it smells really alive and fresh, and that's what that is. So I hope you are enjoying it. Oh, there's oud in that too. I forgot to tell you. So it's rose. The whole recipe is rose, vanilla, Palo Santo, and oud. And we've never done that combination before. And like I said, I've been wearing it all month with patchouli, which is my daily go-to. And I've had more compliments on how I smell this month. I've also seen more people this month than usual because I've been home for a year. But everybody who's come near me has been like, what are you smelling? So you might really love that too. Okay, I'm glad you love it. All right. The only thing I didn't bring over to show you tonight was her altar cloth, which I still have on my altar across the room, and I hope you're enjoying the cloths too. So these are our tools for tonight. I'm going to light our candle to get us started. And I want to invite you to light your candle as well. Oh, I have to leave you for a second. Actually, you know what? I don't. I'm going to use the selenite wand from next month's tools to open our circle tonight. I had put my selenite wand in the other room, but I can use this. So next month's tools, we're crafting a selenite wand together during this ceremony next month. And so you're going to be able to use that to open and close ceremony for the rest of the year. So I'll use it tonight to show you how that works. Isn't the cloth pretty? By the way, when we're done, I know it sounds weird, when we're done with the kits, you want to take we're giving you triangular cloths. I used to belly dance. I haven't this year because of COVID, but I love belly dancing. I have a great teacher and she's just the best. So after you're done with your kits, including Hera's, this is a little waist scarf. So what you do is you take it, you wrap it around your hips, and you tie the ends together over your pants, over your leggings, over your skirts, and it is really sexy. Plus it hides a million flaws. And then if you're a belly dancer, when you move your hips, it kind of does the thing. So again, just wrap that around your waist, off to the side, and tie a little knot. And you should wear that over your pants or over your skirt. It's a little hip wrap. That's exactly right. Isn't that fun? So it's not just an altar cloth. It really has kind of a couple of different purposes to it. You love to belly dance too. My teacher, Samia, is the best, and she does online classes. So if you ever want to learn more about belly dance, I can connect you with Samia. She's just amazing, and you would love her. She's a super fun personality too. Okay. Last thing I want to tell you before we get started tonight. For free on sagegoddess.com, every full moon and every new moon, we make these worksheets for you. And it gives you some journaling questions. It tells you the herbs, oils, and stones for the month, for the full moon. And then it tells you what a full moon in Virgo is all about. And then what I like to do is answer these questions and put them in a notebook. We do it every month. So every month at the new moon and every month at the full moon, you should go to sagegoddess.com, download your worksheets. At the end of the year, it's so fun to read your answers because you'll surprise yourself. And it's fun to look back and say, what was I thinking at the full moon in February this year? You know, at the end of 2020, it was so fun for me to go back and ask myself, what was I thinking? What were my intentions? Did they come true? You know, did they come to pass? And what was I thinking at the new moon? And what was I thinking at the full moon? And so you might enjoy that too. And those are there for you at sagegoddess.com as well. Yeah, you need to print your worksheets and get your stuff going. Okay. Now, so I want to focus really quickly before we do our ceremony tonight. But what you're gonna sweeten, what you're gonna commit to, what are you gonna bring your energy to right now? One of the things I realized at the end of 2020, and I don't know if you've had this experience or not, is if I didn't bring my full attention to things, they didn't get done. It's so easy to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then all of a sudden you turn around, the year's over, and it didn't happen. I promise, if you want to do something this year, you need to focus on it, commit to it, and do it. And Hera's got an energy stream that can support you. So this is Hera's symbol. It's the scepter, which is considered a healing symbol from ancient Lemuria. It comes from the Greek word sceptron or skeptron, which means to lean on. And it was thought of as a sign of royalty. Isn't that interesting? So this means you have sovereignty over your life, and you need to work with the gifts you've been given and let them take you where you want to go. And then you have the water lily, which is the flower of Hera. This is the symbol of renewal and optimism. It closes its petals every night. Isn't that beautiful? And opens them every morning so that it creates a whole cycle of energy. This is about rebirth. The murkier the waters, the better the flower, right? No mud, no flower, which is the lesson of the water lily. And then the last card is all about Hera, which is, can you be a devoted wife? And I'm not just talking to like being a wife to a husband. Can you be a devoted soul to the essence and the core of who you are and why you're here without ever letting go? This year, Sage Goddess turns 10, and I'm really proud of that because I've committed to it for a decade. I haven't gotten tired of it. I haven't decided to let it go. I haven't given up on it. You know, it's hard to keep something alive energetically for 10 years. For 20 years, I've been in my relationship with my husband for 20 years. You know, like when you have things in your life that you've committed to for 1 decade or 2 decades, that's really amazing. And you should also celebrate that tonight, all of your commitments, right? That's what Hera would say. If you've been able to say yes to your job, or yes to your kids, or yes to your partnership, or yes to your friendships, or yes to your fur babies for 10 years and 20 years, that's really worthy of your celebration tonight. Yes to your education, right? I love it. It's really a huge thing. It's much easier to get divorced. It's much easier to quit your job. It's much easier to close your shop. It's much easier. It's harder to keep going, to keep doing, to keep saying yes to something is much harder than saying no, right? So, oh, you guys are so great. And I see you with all the work that you're doing too. And Carla's birthday is tomorrow. Hunter says 11 years with my husband. Becky says 49 years of marriage. You're getting the big bow from Hera tonight. You really are. Are you ready to commit tonight? Let's open our circle. Isn't it easier to walk away? It is easier. And it's okay to walk away if it's the right thing for you. That's the other thing. I'll always back you up on that. If you're like, Athena, I had to walk away. It sucked. Wasn't working for me. I'd be like, peace out, baby. Bye. Right? But I think a lot of times we eject prematurely because it gets hard. It's hard enough for parents to unconditionally love their kids for their whole life, but when you're with a person you chose, you know, it's like, oh my God, right? Yeah. Well, and Monica said it was even hard to leave a relationship she needed to leave after a long time, right? And I see you, Monica. Like sometimes it's hard to leave even when you know you should. So wherever you are and the decisions that you make, I appreciate you so much. And I know that sometimes leaving is hard and sometimes staying is even harder. And sometimes leaving is the best thing you do for yourself because you open a whole new doorway. It's really true. And I'll tell you something, as someone who's ordained and marries people, some of the most beautiful marriages I've witnessed have been from people who've lost a spouse or have chosen to go in a new direction at the behest of their spirit. So I also really support that too, because I think sometimes it's, you know, it's a tough choice and it's such a personal choice, but I celebrate you wherever you are, right? Because I see you too. I really do. Okay, I just opened our circle. Let's welcome in our guides and guardians tonight. I love that Monica says committing to yourself. You said it really beautifully, Monica. You just, better than I could have. It's about committing to you. What does it look like to commit to you tonight? What do you need? And it could be health. Maybe you need to eat better, rest more, take more time for yourself, take a mental health day. You know what I mean? Maybe you're working too hard. What do you need for you? Maybe you need more space. Maybe you need more play. Maybe you need more fun. Maybe you need more relaxation. Maybe you need more love and connection and physical touch. Maybe you need more inspiration and creativity. What does it look like to commit to you tonight? Yeah? It's really good stuff. I love it. All right. So we're going to welcome in tonight the guides and the guardians of the East. Opening up our circle tonight, inviting them in for new perspectives, a shift in how we're thinking or what our intentions are tonight and how we're receiving and celebrating energy, which is what the full moon's all about. So we want to welcome in the guides and the guardians of the East tonight to guide our thoughts, to inspire us this evening. And then to the guides and the guardians of the South, we welcome you in tonight for transformation. Always transformation in the South. Transforming our relationships to our work, to our partnerships, to ourselves tonight, all of it. Shape-shifting, letting go of skin that's too tight tonight, you know what I mean? Finding our way out of tight crevices so that we can find our flow. Engaging a little curiosity and a little playfulness tonight so that we're not taking everything so seriously too in the South. And welcome in the guides and the guardians. And to the guides and the guardians of the West, we welcome you in tonight for emotional healing and purification. Helping us to surrender what isn't aligned anymore. Helping us surrender what isn't part of our commitment tonight. So old habits, old views, old behaviors, old patterns, old paradigms, all of that can be released in the West tonight. And we call upon the guides and the guardians to help us with that. And then to the guides and the guardians of the North. We welcome them in for patience, purpose, presence, protection, for helping to anchor us in this here now moment. Helping us to just be with what is, without judgment, without projection, just really seeing all of the energies as they are at all times. The North for me is always an invitation back to authenticity, because energies in the North are very grandparently, and most grandparent energy is non-judgmental. It just takes you for who and what you are. And it's very tender and very nurturing in the North. So we welcome in the guides and the guardians of the North with gratitude as we open that quadrant of our circle. And with that, our circle is open. We're ready to do our work tonight. I'm so excited to be here with you. Okay. During our ceremonies, I like to, there's two things you can do with your disc. One is you can sit on it, which might sound funny to you, but when you sit on your disc, you pull the energy up through your root chakra, and it moves through the entire central column. So your entire chakra system, your entire energy system engages the energy, and it winds its way up, almost like the Kundalini, right? And so that's one way you can work with your charging plate. The other way you can work with it is if you're enjoying some kind of beverage tonight, like I've got some Diet Coke, you can sit your beverage on there. The other way you can work with it, in my experience, is to take it and place it against your solar plexus. Or you can place it on your heart. Those are the two chakras where anything that touches your solar plexus or your heart tends to, again, run through the whole channel. Or you can simply keep it in your space and charge it, and then it will be charged with the energy of tonight. And anytime you lose your will, lose your strength, lose your vision, lose your commitment, simply, again, sit on this, place what you're drinking on it, place your tea on it every day, charge your other crystals on it. It's a charging plate made of lapis, which is the ultimate stone of commitment and vision. And queenhood, which are all of the energies of that. I'm gonna sit on it. Got warm even after like 5 seconds under my bone. But I'm Greek though. I have a lot of, junk in my trunk. Greek women are not lacking for Southern Hemisphere action. So however you choose to work with it. Joanne said she'd tape it to her forehead. That's a different way of working with it. I love it, right? I think technically it is sodalite, but mine has lapis all the way through it. So isn't that beautiful? I know. Mine is lapis, but I think technically they are sodalite. But if yours has pyrite through it, yours is lapis too. Isn't that gorgeous? Does anybody else have pyrite in theirs? Sodalite is lapis without pyrite, right? So if yours has the pyrite, it's lapis, baby. Isn't that cool? You put it on your chest. I love that too. Are you sitting on yours too? I like it. Okay. So what I want to do for this part of our journey, I already anointed with our perfume, but I'm going to tell you something. I just love it so much, so I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to spray it on my wrist, and before it dries, a little bit on my third eye for what I know. Rub it to my wrist for what I do, and then to my ankles for where I go. And when you anoint at your third eye, wrists, and ankles, you cover all the meridian lines and all the destiny lines in your body. So you don't have to spray everything. You just need your third eye, your wrists, and your ankles. If you want to be really complete, you would also go up under your clothes. I can't do it here because this would be X-rated kind of, but if I was by myself, I would actually take it down and kind of anoint my solar plexus with it too. Yeah, isn't it yummy? It smells so good. It almost smells like chocolate to me. There's something when you mix vanilla with Palo Santo, it almost has like a chocolatey smell to it. So I hope you're really enjoying that one. Okay. So the first part of our ceremony tonight, I'm going to drum for you for the second part of our ceremony. But for the first part of our ceremony, we are going to make our commitments. Behind the ears is nice too. You have 108 energy centers in your body. Did you know that? People think third eye, crown, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. That's all they think about. But you have chakras in your hands. You have chakras in your feet. You have chakras behind your ears. You have chakras all the way down your back. You have chakras at your shoulder, in the crook of your arm, and you have chakras at your wrist. You have chakras everywhere. So in traditional perfuming, you learn about the scent glands, right? And when you anoint on your scent glands, that's where your body tends to release the fragrance, but those are also energy centers behind your knees, behind your ears, at your wrists, right? So all the places we were taught to put fragrance to release it because our body gets warm there and it releases energy. Those are energy centers, right? Yeah, it's really exciting. I love that too. Okay, now I want you to take your Jordan almonds. And if you don't have Jordan almonds, you can pick 3 stones. You can take 3 pieces of paper. You can modify tonight's ceremony using whatever you have. So don't tune out now if you don't have the tools, okay? But if you have your 3 Jordan almonds, I'm going to blow my breath over them. And tonight, these are the 3 commitments that we are making for the rest of 2021. And I really want you to take a moment right here. We don't get very many full moons together every year. I love this time with you. It's really precious. I appreciate you taking the time because this is for you. And we don't often take time in the middle of our year, especially the beginning of the year, to say, what's 2021 going to be about for you? Other than panic or fear or, anxiety or whatever else, none of that. Tonight's about the big dreams. What needs gasoline? What needs fuel from you? That's what you've got tonight to work with. We don't have any eclipses tonight, right? It's just sort of wide open, big lunar energy tonight. We don't get a lot of those in the year, you guys. So I really want you to look at these and ask yourself, if these were seeds you were planting in your garden tomorrow that were going to grow into big trees, big, healthy, strong trees that were going to nourish you for the rest of your life, what would that be for you? And I want you to focus on them and ask yourself, and before you put them back in your jar, and I'm hoping you will add other things to this jar and keep this jar on your altar for the rest of the year. This jar is going to be an active working jar for me. I'm going to blow my breath in there too. Your breath is your life force, right? So for me, I'm working on new books in 2021, and I'm really excited about it. So the first commitment I'm making is to new writing that's coming through me, and how much love I want to infuse, how much commitment, how much essence of being I want to infuse into those, right? So I'm going to place that into the jar. And the second commitment I want to make, and I've been working on this, my students know because I've been talking to them about it for the last couple of weeks. I'm really committing to my health, and to, because I've been, honestly, in 2020, I kind of ate everything. I gained 10 pounds, which may not seem like a big deal, but I'm 5'2", and it's just not great. And I don't feel the need to be a certain weight for anybody, but I like to be at a certain weight. So I've been really prioritizing my health, and so I'm committing to good, clean eating and cooking most of my food and keeping the energy and the vibration of what I consume really clean and pure, and not just eating a house full of food because I'm stressed out. It is kind of a little milk bottle, isn't it cute? So what are you committing to? What else are you committing to? I want to hear it from you. You know, I'm talking about myself, but what's coming up for you? I mean, I'm just being real with you. Food was love for me in 2020, and I'm a really good cook. So I baked bread, I made my own butter, I was baking dessert every night, I cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. I was making fancy omelets, I was making, oh my god, I was designing recipes. It was a shit show over here. I know. So saving for travel van, I love that. I love that, Jade. I want to come ride in your travel van with you. Christy's going to start journaling. Sherry's working on spiritual growth. Stephanie's focusing on self-love. Right? Isn't that great? Add in some adaptogens in the rainbow. I love that, Lisa. I love that so much. To Chi, practice daily. I love that too. Committing to your professional life. For Tony, yeah, come on over. No, I'm a good cook, but listen, you're going to gain 10 pounds if you come live with me. Because as soon as you're done with one plate, I'm going to give you another plateful and go, what, you don't like it? You're not hungry? Like a Greek mom. A retreat center, look at that. Having a thriving business, I love it. Committed to wellness for Casey, improving your business for Kiana, I love it. For Maricel, it's starting a new career, which is very exciting. Putting yourself out there for Madeline. Finding love for Christine. Working on oracle cards for Kai Karma. Will you send me a deck when you're done so I can use them in my rituals and classes? God, I love a good oracle deck. I really do. Sharing mudras. I love that from Madeline. Oh, look at the feed, you guys. Isn't it beautiful? Committing to unfinished projects. Creating a sanctuary. Self-love. Health. Healthy eating. Committing to my husband, retiring, and focusing on that for Deborah, right? Isn't that cool? And I will tell you something. Everything you're commenting on right now is available to you. That new home, that new job, that better balance, that new apartment, that retraining toward a new goal, it is all available for you. Committing to financial freedom, her home in the hills for Aurea, right? It's all available to you. In fact, I would go so far as to say that house in the hills already belongs to you. And now it's just time for you to move into it. You know what I mean? It's just such a powerful energy flow at the full moon if you can just stand in that place of believing and really trusting it. So I've got my third one. And this third one, I'm just going to call love. Because that means a lot to me. I really believe that everything has to come from love. The food you cook, the way you talk to people, the products that you create, or the way you comment on something in social media, or like, it all needs to come from love. What would love say? What would love do? What would love build, right? If love could do this, if love could design this, if love could activate this, what would it look like? So I'm committing to love, to bringing love forward in all that I do, say, think, believe, activate, energize, manifest. May it come from If it isn't love, it isn't yours, right? If it isn't love, it isn't yours. Now, emerald for me is not about keeping my partner monogamous. What I've learned about relationships is if you don't want your partner to cheat on you, you need to exhaust them. So they have no energy left for anybody else. That's always been my MO. But instead, emerald for me is about wisdom. I'm not really interested in keeping anybody faithful. I figure if my partner's going to be faithful, my partner's going to be faithful. If not, if not. But I'm a Sagittarius, right? So I'm like, whoop-de-doo. But I am interested in wisdom, because for Sagittarians, wisdom and truth is everything. So I'm going to add my emerald in for, may I always do everything with love, but may I also do it with a good dash of wisdom. And I'm telling you, every time I look at this bottle, I'm going to remember these commitments that I made with you at this full moon and hold them really sacred. So there we have it. We have our candle burning and our jars are finished. So you can see that there. Okay. Are you Sag too? I have to tell you, a lot of people are really focused on, partners being faithful and stuff. I'm not. I hope so. Like, I love the idea of being faithful and monogamous and everything else. But the most important thing for me, what I treasure as a Leo and Sag, is freedom. If I'm not free, I'm not happy. Right? What's love got to do with it? Love is everything. So now I'm going to drum just for a couple minutes with you. And as I drum, this is my full moon drum. I love the tone of this drum. I want you to imagine, in the old days, we weren't sitting in a room with artificial lights. Oh, we were outside. That big moon was shining on us. We didn't have a lot of clothes on. We looked like crazy people out there, right? We were in a circle, we were dancing, we were singing. People were getting mad because it was too loud. Now we're all sedate. At the summer solstice, I'll take you outside. I will. It's not quite warm enough yet. I'll take you outside this year. Okay, so what are you illuminating tonight? What are you shining this big, bright light of truth and wisdom and commitment on? And what I want you to do for just right now is I want you to imagine. Close your eyes and visualize. Manifestation is about your vision. If you can't see it happening, it won't happen. If you can't feel it happening, it won't happen. So I want you to imagine that job, that health, that partnership, that love, that joy. For me, it's my books. And I want you to see that being created, being expanded, being manifest. At just the perfect place and time. Everything going in your favor. As if the whole universe is conspiring to support you. It does look like a big moon, doesn't it? I think that's why I love it so much. It's just an old Remo drum, but God, I love it. Nice big frame drum. So close your eyes and let your spirit soar tonight. And use the fine focus of this full moon in Virgo to illuminate all the places in your life that need light and clarity and vision and support. Use this opportunity in this moment to call in the resources that you need. Maybe it's money, maybe it's people, maybe it's love, maybe it's support, maybe it's a kind word that you need to commit. Maybe you've been discouraged. I love it. Julie says her goal is a law school justice advocate. Love it. Bring it on. Anybody else want to drum yours up? Comment in the feed. I'll read it and I'll drum it up for you. It's my favorite thing to send prayers up. Erin says she doesn't know what's going to make her happy in her job, but that's the right time to ask a question. What's going to make you happy? What can you commit to? That's actually going to bring you joy. Right? Committing to her business for Lala, I love it. What does that look like? I get so excited when you guys say you're committing to your businesses, because I want to see, what are you making? What are you creating? I want to buy it. I want to have it. Right? Get excited about it. Health, wealth, and happiness for Karen. I like it. Janine's calling in that new relationship. Ooh. Financial freedom for Erin. Her own apartment. Love it. Happiness for Angie, and for Kat, it's travel. Clarity of the vision for Janet. Love that. Finding her true self. Love it. Jennifer's going to be an estate lawyer. I think that's fantastic. You're going to help other people commit, right? Jumping to bigger commitment for Erica. Yes, let's do it. Cooking with your son for Sheila. God, I love that. Yep, expansion of your business, Ora. I see it. Kristen says organization. For Rebecca, success of the new spirituality podcast. I like it. Thank you for sharing with us, cutie. I love it. Controlling your mediumship. I like it, for Christina. Angel's going on vacation with her hubs. Can I go in your suitcase? I love it. Spiritual life coach. That's right. Committing to spiritual growth. By the way, we need all of you. All of you who are going into spiritual business right now. I don't think you could have chosen a better time. I really want to encourage you. It's all hands on deck. So great spirit, see us tonight as we send these wishes and dreams and visions on angels' wings to the upper realms, higher dimensions of awareness. See our hopes, our dreams, our visions for the future. Love it. Keep saying it, because I'm telling you, your words are important. Yep, lowering mortgage payments, I'm into that. If you haven't refinanced your house yet, can I highly recommend that? I did that in 2020. I recommend it. Not apologizing from Shanna, right? Let's do that. All into relationships from Brady. And Selena's having her own family. I love that so much. Finding a holistic doctor for Brittany. Real estate success for CJ. I wish that for you too. Creating for Elizabeth, new life for Storm Dancer. On this incredible evening, under this Virgo full moon, great spirit, see our prayers, see our visions, see our dreams. We ask that you illuminate them, manifest them on our behalf in perfect time, in full alignment and accord with our highest good and our purpose and our passion for being here on this planet at this time. With our skills that you gave us, in a way that only we can do it. Help us to be authentic and true to ourselves while we manifest our dreams. Help us to manifest our dreams in a healthy way that also supports our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health. And I'm going to pray over you tonight. I'm going to call in for you every help that you need. Financial, emotional, spiritual, all the resources, financial resources, human resources, emotional resources. May you have every bit of help you need from the four corners, from sources seen and unseen, in a way that reminds you that magic is real. And we give thanks. We give thanks. You gotta express the gratitude. It's really important. We give thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you for blessings already on their way, because I think they are. Blessings are already on their way. The only thing that's missing is your faith and your commitment, which we're doing tonight. My little stone plate under my behind is getting kind of warm. I'm probably going to be able to cook on it by the time I'm done tonight. Woo! Oh, thank you, Great Spirit, for always seeing us through all of these human moments that we experience, you know? We're so blessed. We're always seen, always held. Amen. Aho. So it is. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Great Spirit. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Some of us have been ready for a long time. I'm going to tell you something. You are here to make your dreams come true. And I have learned. In my younger years, candidly, I was jealous. I really was. I was jealous if I thought people had more or better than I did, or like were smarter. I was kind of envious in my younger years, 20s, maybe early 30s. I learned a couple of things. First of all, I've learned nobody really has it better than you do, because they got their own shit, right? If they seem like they have it easy, they've got a health challenge. Like, trust me, you don't want to trade places with me. You might look at me and go, that lady's got it really easy. Look at her on there doing a full moon ritual. But, you know, I've struggled through massive illness in my life. Like, you want that? I mean, do you? Right? You probably wouldn't trade places with me. And so it's really important. What I've learned is I probably wouldn't trade places with other people, because no matter how good it looks on the outside, there's always something, right? Everybody's got their thing, whether it's a health crisis challenge, or whether it's a emotional challenge or a physical challenge or something, right? So learn to really enjoy being you, and that will teach you that actually what we need to do is support everybody. Because when you make your dreams come true, when you do it, the reverberation of energy that comes back to all of us is huge. It's fuel. It is absolute fertilizer. When Maruda, okay, if Maruda makes her dream come true this year, we all benefit. If Daniel makes his dream come true this year, we all benefit. So my goal is to make sure Maruda does the thing. My goal is to say to Daniel, what do you need? My goal is to say to Bobby, is there anything I can do to support you? Because the more people who light up and make their dreams come true and actually manifest, the wave of energy that raises the entire frequency of the planet. So I had to learn this. I would love it if you learn it earlier and maybe a little bit easier than I did. But you need to flip that script. You should actually want everybody to have everything they want and more, because the higher their vibration goes, the higher the vibration of the frequency of the planet, the easier your pathway is going to be. I promise you. It's such a secret to success. Always wish for everyone to manifest, because I promise you it doesn't take anything away from you. It actually brings a lot to your life. So I truly, sincerely in this moment am asking, as I look at your names, I'm asking your spirit guides to manifest every single thing that you want as quickly as possible, in alignment with the collective highest good of the planet. I hope you have all your dreams as fast as you can. Because the faster we do this, we don't have a lot of time on the planet. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, we're just a blip on the screen. The faster we can all do this, the faster we can raise the vibration of the planet. And then I even believe that transmutes the energy of a virus. You know what I mean? It can transmute the energy of almost anything if we can just learn to support each other and to be collective with each other. So please, make your dreams come true, get all the money you want, have the relationship that you need. Like, I just wish it for you. I wish that every single one of you would message me tomorrow and go, Athena, all my dreams came true. It would be the best news ever, right? So I will be celebrating with you as you manifest everything that you desire. And I'm really grateful for you. It's really true. And the longer you live and the more you do this work, the more you'll realize what I'm saying to you is true. And when you see someone who's small and kind of petty and jealous and all those things, you'll look at them and you'll think to yourself, they will learn. You know, that the secret is actually that there's enough for everybody. Nobody's any better or different or more special than you are. So if anybody's been successful, you need to feed off of that and learn that you can do it too. I believe in you. And I'll believe in you until you believe in you. It's really, really true. I'm grateful for you. And I just love you. And I'm so excited to see your dreams come true this year. I really am. Because I'm believing with you in every moment. Thanks, you guys. Truly. Truly, truly. And wouldn't it be an amazing thing to live on this planet, you guys? We've all had this dream of like a planet that fully evolves, you know? But wouldn't it be really beautiful if we could live on a planet together where everybody's dreams were coming true? Can you really imagine what that would be like? Where their art is happening and they're found that perfect relationship and everybody's just vibrating from this place of like absolute joy. That's how you change the world. That's how you change it. That's how you create magic. It's true, Antonia. What a beautiful... Antonia 22 said, the real contagion is love for each other. It really is. As silly as it may seem. I see you. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So we're going to release our guides and guardians with so much gratitude tonight. Thank you to the guides and the guardians of the North for always helping to hold steady space for us to grow, evolve, learn. We release you with gratitude tonight. Thank you for your protection. And to the guides and the guardians of the West, thank you for the healing that came through tonight. Thank you for this beautiful medicine of commitment under this Virgo moon. We're so thankful for the healing that it's providing to us in every moment. We feel it. I know you can feel it because I can feel your vibration. It's super good tonight. So keep that vibe nice and high. And then to the guides and the guardians of the South, thank you for the super juice tonight. Thank you for firing us up and getting us ready to manifest, to create, to expand and grow and transform and shift and change and become a better, cleaner, tighter version of ourselves. We release you with gratitude into the guides and the guardians of the East. Thank you for a breath of fresh air tonight. Thank you for a new perspective. Thank you for showing us a new pathway, a new vision for the future, and helping us believe that it's all possible too. And we release you with gratitude. It's such a joy to spend this time with you. I have to tell you, full moons and new moons are pure joy for me. When I founded Sage Goddess 10 years ago, it'll be 10 years in July. It's really hard to believe. I started Sage Goddess with the intention of offering free full moon rituals to people around the world. And everybody that I knew thought I was nuts for doing that because nobody did that. Why would you do that? Who cares, right? But it's become this really beautiful family that we all have, and it is my lifelong commitment. I will always do new moon and full moon ritual for you for free, online, anywhere in the world I am. I go live. I've never missed one in 10 years. It's super precious time. Thank you for taking the time for your spiritual growth and development, to commit, to energize your path, I promise you, your family benefits from it, your community benefits from it, and I think it makes you healthy. I think it makes you happy. So thank you for taking the time tonight. And I love that. Makeup and Fashion Insomnia said this was her first full moon ceremony. Anybody else new tonight? What a pleasure to have you if you're new. If you're old, it's great to have you too. I'm old, so I've been doing this for a minute. But if you're new tonight, what a joy to have you with us. And I hope you'll consider doing the full moon and new moon with us. We do it every month on the exact night of. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get the notifications, and it's free and it's fun. And we love having you. So thank you so much. I want to thank Alexis and Hannah and Claire too, who are always here with me. But look at that. We've got a lot of new folks tonight. Isn't that beautiful? And some old ones too. Hey, Maria, I see you. I see you. So it's so fantastic to meet you. Truly, truly is if you're new. What a joy. I'm going to extinguish my candle. But I'm going to keep burning this candle because I love it. Hera's my girl. Now, our tools for next month are at sagegoddess.com if you'd like them. This is your code. They're optional. You don't have to have them. That's why, and I don't have enough for everybody. I really don't. The tools were half sold out at lunchtime today. So they're optional. I don't have a lot of them. Everything at Sage Goddess is made by hand. All these tools, the candles poured by hand, the perfumes poured by hand. These are custom engraved. We bag our own little chipstones for your craft. Like everything's done by hand. So we don't have a lot of anything. So if you would like the tools, they're at sagegoddess.com for next month. Your code is 19moon for 19% off if you would like them. Next month we are crafting. And we're making a wand together. So we're going to take this wand, and you're getting all these little chip stones. You're getting moonstones and pyrite dust and rhodochrosite stones. And you get a piece of sari ribbon. Now, who is the goddess for next month? Because each month we study a goddess. Her name is Eos, and she's the goddess of the dawn. But she was naughty, and she had a lot of lovers. She was, in Greek mythology, she was one of the first cougars. She kind of ran a little bit. We don't judge. But we're going to be talking about that because it's a Libra full moon next month. So we're going to be exploring desire, creativity, passion, like it's a little juicier. This month's a little dry because Hera's kind of more about the intellect and the focus and the commitment. Next month we're getting into our bodies and we're going to explore desire. So you do have to BYO glue. That is the one thing I didn't provide to you that you need to provide. I like a nice E6000, and I like a nice Gorilla Glue, if you have to know. When I'm in a pinch, because I work hard and I have 2 kids and parents and an animal and everything else, my life's really busy, I like a nice hot glue gun too, and I won't judge you for it. So whatever works for you, that's the glue. And one person, by the way, who gets their tools before midnight tonight is winning Eos's wand. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a multi-tourmaline, red, pink, and gold tourmaline wand in sterling silver with Lemurian quartz and a crystal ball. It has an incredible, what we call a Divic temple in it, which is a little sort of wispy angelic inclusion. So good luck. If you would like to get your tools, they're at sagegoddess.com. And I'm looking forward to our next ceremony, but tonight was really powerful. I know, isn't that wand incredible? He's amazing, and it's the first time he's done rainbow tourmalines in a wand. I absolutely lost my mind. Isn't that beautiful? Do you see the gold and the pink and the red? Tourmalines come in all colors. Did you know that? I love crystals. It comes in red and pink and gold, like a goldish orange, comes in green. Blue tourmaline is called indicolite, so you even find blue. It's the little things, right? So anyway, enjoy those. Everything is at sagegoddess.com, and again, your code is 19moon. Is that right? Yeah, for 19% off. You're welcome. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. I will see my students I teach 2 online classes. One's called Crystal Masters, which is a crystal healing class, and one's called Soul Shift. We don't have class next week, so we're taking a little bit of a pause, although we have Elder Council next week, which is our big quarterly shamanic journey, and that's on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to that, and then I'll see you for our live gym sale on YouTube on Tuesday. So again, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a minute of the action. And please join us on TikTok too. We're new on TikTok. It's called Sage Goddess Official, and our team is doing really beautiful content on TikTok for you too. Soon I'll be going live on there as well, so make sure you're following us on TikTok too. We'd love it. Do you really? Michelle says she wears a rainbow tourmaline anklet every day. I wear a rainbow tourmaline bracelet every day. That isn't super fancy. I made it, but I love tourmaline. It's kind of my medicine. So if you love tourmaline too, that wand is the business. We love you too. I'm glad you're excited for Elder Council. So Elder Council, so in my class called Soul Shift, every quarter we do this big shamanic journey called Elder Council, which is a journey to meet your spirit guides and your ancestors. And it's a very specific journey that we do. We do it 4 times a year. And for a lot of people who say, oh, I've never seen my spirit guides, or I've never felt them, or I don't feel connected to my ancestors, it's a very important experience for them to begin to feel like they have those connections. So it's a 2-hour journey. It's kind of icing on the cake. It's not technically part of Soul Shift. It's sort of a little add-on bonus. But it's one of my students' favorite things that we do. And since we only do it once a quarter, it's really exciting. If you want to join Soul Shift, you can actually join, like you could join this weekend and we'll get you into the Facebook group and everything, and then you can join us for Elder Council next week on Thursday. Wouldn't that be fun for that to be your first class? What a way to dive into online programs. We'd love to have you. So yeah, get ready for Elder Council. And the most important thing with Elder Council is you have to have a question. Something really important that you want to get an answer to. And not a yes-no question, but like a deep question about your passion or your marriage or your relationship or how to parent or should you move, or big questions, right? Because you tend to get some really good answers out of an Elder Council journey. So I'm looking forward to that with you. Yeah. All right. Thanks, you guys. Mwah. We love you. Happy full moon. Charge your crystals. We don't have an eclipse, so get them out under that beautiful moon. And I'll see you very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks, Team SG. So grateful for you. I'll see you soon.